Hi everybody, Nick Vacco here, the Details Are. Today our video is going to show you how to clean and dress an engine compartment. We have a 2011 Equinox. It doesn't look like the engine compartment has been cleaned in a long time. So we're going to clean it. We're going to show you how the process that we go through to clean it, the precautions that we take, and also to dress the motor at the end with a non-silicone dressing. Typically for something like this, if a customer is just looking to have their engine cleaned, it's a $100 bill, okay, minimum. So, the whole process should take you from 30 minutes, 45 minutes at the very most to have it completed. Just make sure that the engine compartment is not hot when you start it, and I'll go over those steps here as we begin the video. So sit back, relax, get some popcorn, and enjoy. So our first step is to basically cover the fenders. I'm using a safe release tape. Okay, you don't want to use masking tape, especially if you're working outside in the heat, because the adhesive could stick to the paint. So I'm going to take the plastic, I'm going to cover up the fenders, because we are going to be using a degreaser, especially if you're working outside. You don't want that degreaser drying on the paint. Okay, you never want to spray. We're going to actually spray our engine degreaser on here in a few moments, but you never want to spray a degreaser on a hot engine, okay? It could possibly stain some of the components in the engine, okay? So it's a little warm, and that's actually perfect, because that'll actually help break down the dirt, the dust, the grime, and the grease. So it can be cool or warm, but definitely not hot, and you want to make sure that the engine compartment is not running. Back in the old days, they wanted you to run the engine compartment while you're cleaning, but that led to, as time went on, that would lead to shorting out the alternator, which you don't want to do. So make sure that the engine is not hot. Cool or warm is okay. So make sure your vapor steamer is heated up. We're using this Vapomori 100. Okay, it takes about 10 minutes to heat up. We use distilled water. All right, and now we're going to show you we're going to have a little brush on it. Okay, and that'll help get into some of the nooks and crannies. Later we'll actually use a AC vent dashboard brush to also get into the nooks and crannies. So typically, especially in the fall months, okay, there's going to be debris inside the wiper cowl. Okay, so this one has some definite debris in it. So I'm actually going to remove the heavy debris with my hands. I'm going to put it in a little wastebasket. Now, especially if you're working at a customer's driveway doing a mobile detail, you don't want to throw the debris on the customer's driveway. Okay, we're working inside today, but I'm still going to use a wastebasket, and any of the smaller debris I'll blow out with a blowgun. If you are working on a customer's driveway and you are going to use vapor steam and a degreaser, or even a pressure washer with a low pressure tip on, which is fine, okay, you should have a tarp laid down underneath the engine compartment component of the vehicle, so the degreaser does not get on the customer's driveway. Then you can basically carefully remove that tarp and remove the wet debris from the tarp. So the first thing I'm going to do, have my gloves on, of course. I'm going to remove the heavier debris that I can remove. Then some of the smaller, looks like pine needles, I'll blow out with my blowgun. But you want to get this stuff out now. You don't want it to get wet, because once it becomes wet, it's actually harder to get out. So now I'm going to blow it out. Take my air compressor, about 90 psi, with my Tornador mini blowgun. It's a little bit of an older vehicle. The alternator and the distributor cap may be visible and unprotected. So you can use plastic to cover up the alternator, the distributor cap, or also foil, because foil will actually be able to form around it. On this particular vehicle, the alternator, I don't even know whether it has a distributor cap, but definitely the alternator is not too visible, so I don't have to worry about covering it up. But what I will do now is take our WD-40 to the electric connections. WD stands for water displacement. Okay, so we don't want any havoc going on in the engine compartment, especially after we start the vehicle. So we're going to protect the connections with the WD-40. You got to make sure that that you do that. Okay, you only need a little bit of a spray to do that, and that'll definitely protect it once the vapor steam is sprayed. Okay, I'm checking out here. Looks like there's one there. There's one there. See if I have any others. One down in here. Okay. So I think I have all of the connections protected with our WD-40, so we should be okay. So what I'm going to do now is take our Details R engine and wheel degreaser, and I'm going to spray the underside of the hood with it, just with a light mist, then take the vapor steamer to it, and then a towel to remove that dirt. I'm going to keep the steam, or if you're using a pressure washer, the water away from the insulator pad. On the older vehicles, the insulator pad will pretty much disintegrate. You don't want to get the insulator pad wet. It's okay if it gets a little overspray on it, but you don't want to soak it, because then it's going to drip down on your engine compartment, which won't be a good thing, especially after you've cleaned it and dressed it. Okay, so I'm going to spray just a light mist of the degreaser. Now I'll take my microfiber. Got a lot of dirt off. Only took a little over a minute, and it already looks a lot better. So next I'm going to spray our wheel and engine degreaser on the exposed components. I'm going to start back at the wiper cowl and then move counterclockwise around the vehicle. Just a light mist. We're going to let the vapor steam do most of the work. But this is really dusty. Sometimes you don't even have to spray the degreaser on the engine compartment. But it's probably never been cleaned, and it's 13 years old. So I'm going to make sure I get the hoses, all the plastic components. If you do a lot of engines, you can actually get a 1 or 2 gallon pressurized sprayer. All right, so next I'm going to take the vapor steamer. I'm going to try to stay a foot to 2 foot away. It is a low pressure vapor steamer, okay, so it is safe. If you are using a pressure washer, put a low pressure tip on it and at least stay a couple feet back. If you're using a high pressure tip on a pressure washer and you don't have a low pressure tip, you at least got to stay 3 feet away so you don't blow off any hoses or do any damage to the engine compartment. Okay, I'm going to start back at the window cowl. Okay, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to take a microfiber towel, okay, to the areas that I sprayed the degreaser on and also the vapor steam. Because now what we did, we loosened up the dirt, the dust, and the debris. Now I'm going to attempt to remove it all, okay? So I removed a lot of the debris and dirt with this microfiber towel. Next, I'm actually going to take a brush that's called a dash vent AC vent brush. Now, we don't use that brush on the interior, this particular brush on the interior. We save it for the engine compartments, but now I'm going to get into all the nooks and crannies that I couldn't get my fingers and the towel with. So that's next. Okay, so I'm going to spray a little degreaser on here, and then I will go into some of those hidden cavities with this. Okay. Now I may have to use the vapor steamer again into those areas, but I'm going to take this brush to the hidden cavities now where I'm still seeing some dirt. So I'm going to start over here. And all this you can fast forward, huh? Some more degreaser on. Get into all those nooks and crannies. Especially down here where the reservoirs are for the wiper cleaner, windshield wiper cleaner, Now I'm going to take the vapor steamer to it again, to those areas that I just soaped up with the brush. So next I'm going to take another microfiber, it's a clean one, to the areas that I just sprayed again with the vapor steamer to wipe down the loose dirt now. Okay. I think we got just about all the dirt and debris out. I'm just going to take now the blowgun, especially close to the electrical connections, to see if there's still any moisture in there. I think we got most of it out. So I'm going to blow it out with the blowgun now. Okay, so what we're going to do now is dress the engine compartment. There's a lot of plastic in this Equinox, so we're going to take our non-silicone dressing to the plastic components and the hoses and the lower window cowl area. You never want to use silicone, like a tire dressing that has silicone or Armor All in the engine compartment, because the silicone can foul the O2 sensor and some of the other sensors in the vehicle. And if it fouls them up, you're looking at several $100s to replace an O2 sensor, and even more than that depending on the vehicle. So we'll use the non-silicone dressing. Also going to use just basically a cloth nylon dressing applicator to dress the hoses and the components, the plastic components. To get into some of the nooks and crannies with the dressing, I got a dry AC vent brush that we use specifically here at our shop for the engine compartments, and of course a microfiber towel. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use our non-silicone dressing and spray it on the components. Okay. This will brighten it up. One of the big benefits of cleaning an engine compartment, it actually runs cooler in the hotter months, because basically what you're doing, you're removing all the dust and the grease buildup that are on the radiator hoses and the hoses. So it actually makes it run cooler. Plus, what it also does, pride of ownership. Some people just want a clean motor. And your technician at the repair shop, when he's working on your engine compartment, They love working on a clean motor. And it's also very profitable for you. Smooth out as much as I can with my applicator. Then I'll also take compressed air with our Tornador Mini blowgun. But I'm going to take it to the cowl area. Okay.
Yep.
Let me know.
We're ready to go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Action.
Okay, now we're going to remove the plastic. That protected the fenders from getting spotted with any degreaser or the dressing. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the motor up. I'm going to let it run for about 15-20 seconds. I'm going to accelerate. I'm just going to make sure that there isn't any sputtering or it's not stalling, because that means I got something wet that shouldn't have got wet. So we'll start it up, let it run for about 15-20 seconds. I'll accelerate, make sure it's running okay. Now, I'm going to leave the engine compartment hood open for a good 30 minutes, okay, just to make sure all the moisture dries out. You know, we took an air gun to it a couple times to blow out any of the moisture, but we'll still keep that engine open. And if you're working outside in the sun, it's great to open that hood up and let the sun actually dry it out. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's start it up. Appears to be running okay. Give it a little fuel, give it a little gas. Oh wow, perfect. After we close the hood, we're actually going to clean the windshield and touch up the grill area too, because the windshield now has some degreaser on it, and also some of the non-silicone dressing. So we're going to do that as our final touch. Thanks again. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Okay, so next I'm going to clean the windshield and then the grill area. Obviously, we'll take some footage of the windshield right now. As you can see, there's degreaser on it. There's the non-silicone dressing. What you could do too, you can actually cover up the windshield too with the plastic, which I didn't do. But you can do that to avoid the cleaning. But you'd probably still have to touch it up anyway. So we're going to clean the windshield now. And I'm just going to basically use the Details R window glass and mirror cleaner and a window cleaning huck towel, which a lot of you guys know how to clean windows, but this is something that you have to do.